flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open Public Meetings Act statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the Augusta, Branchville, Lafayette, and Sussex post offices, and notice sent to the New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, and the clerk of the boroughs of Branchville and Sussex, and townships of Frankfort, Lafayette, and Wantage. Mission statement. High Point Regional High School, in partnership with staff, family, and community, is dedicated to the quest for individual excellence. By fostering high standards of achievement, we prepare students to become responsible and productive members of a diverse society. Roll call.
Mrs. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Encliffe is not here. Mr. Dunn is not here. Mr. Keogh is not here.
There he
Ms.
is.
Timer.
Taking a roll.
Mr. Miller's not here. Mr. Natero.
Here.
Mr. Reilly.
Here.
Mr. Woodcue.
Here.
Dr. Ripley.
Here.
Mr. Dunn is here.
All right, executive session. A motion will be made to the High Point Regional High School Board of Education in their executive session. Provide an update on personnel, legal, and negotiations items which are exempt from public participation pursuant to New Jersey Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Any discussions held by the board which need not remain confidential will be made public when appropriate. Minutes of the executive session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene public session in the cafeteria annex at the conclusion of the executive session. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, I need a motion to return to public session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, move on to the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of October 16, 2018, the executive session of October 16, 2018. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All right, roll call.
Ms. Timer.
Here.
Mr. Natero. Mr. Dunn.
Yes.
Mr. Woodcue.
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Reilly.
Yes. All right, public comments on agenda items only. Step to the podium, state your name and address in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. We'll open for public comments for agenda items only at this time. Each speaker should state his or her name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to address the board, time by me. We'll limit this section to no longer than 45 minutes. Please be respectful and mindful that your comments are being recorded. Awesome. All right. Presentation, student council. Lauren, is she here? No? So you guys don't like student council. HPRHS, Carla, you'd be so
First of all, I want to thank all the board and negotiating committee to come to this agreement, memorandum of agreement. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Ripley, and thank you for the rest of you. Thank you, down the line, because it makes it easier. You know, we all work together. We want to work together. And I think that's what we're all about. I do want to bring up a letter of contention. Has to do with the nurse in the New Jersey Herald. And I invited for Mr. Obenar to be here tonight. I wrote an editorial comment on his editorial about our nurse being absent as far as abandoning her job, and that is not the case, as we know, as everybody would be commenting on, and he didn't comment it properly as far as what our nurse was there to do. She would never abandon her job. 15 years that I've known her, 42 years in nursing, would never have done this. It was totally fake news. And I sent the commentary in, and they refused to publish it, and I will hand it over to you tonight as far as my representation for my HBA person. because as a professional, it makes you, not only mad, but really? We didn't have to cancel school because the nurse wasn't here. It was because it didn't happen along the line. Okay, she didn't abandon her job like Mr. Obenauer said she did. As far as anything else is going, I do believe our whole constituency believes that we can get on track again with education. And I thank all of you for your commitment to our children. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Regarding the nurse issue in question, I did speak to Ms. Jackson to discuss the fact that I did not in any way insinuate that she abandoned her position. As a matter of fact, I forwarded her the email statements that I provided to the Herald so that she would be fully apprised of what I did say, and I would never in any way insinuate or state that Ms. Jackson in any way would be anything but the utmost professional. She's an exceptional individual with whom I've worked since she's been here, and we are blessed to have her here as our nurse, and I would never communicate to anyone anything other than that.
I don't remember it being,
I don't remember reading it, but.
I remember reading it, but I don't remember it saying that she abandoned her position.
Oh, I wrote a rebuttal, if you
I
like.
know,
to
but
read-
I'm talking about the original article, I'm just saying in my memory when I read it, I think I even said something to you about that. I thought they did a nice job explaining why we had to close school, but anyway.
He actually said the nurse did not show up for work.
Well, the board is aware that that's not the case, so that's all that.
And that's what I'm
matters.
saying, that's, we need to put that on record that, and I invited him here tonight, obviously, he's not here.
All right, Mr. Talman, high school items.
Good evening, everybody. I apologize, I had a little cold, so I had a cough drop and some, I had to talk through my nose because I am. So I just want to update you on some school activities as well as athletic report. That's okay with you, good? School events, the first market period ended already successfully. Hard to believe that that comes so fast, but it does. In the middle of the second market period is going to be December 13th already, so it happens very fast once we get into November. And we're very happy so far with the start that we've had. As you know, last time we invited everybody to the academic awards. We had it a couple weeks ago right here in the media center. We had a tremendous turnout, probably one of the largest turnouts we've ever had. We did move to the media center because it just feels a little bit nicer of a feel than in an auditorium where it's so cavernous sometimes. We had over 200 people show up for the awards, which was excellent. We honored 88 students for high honor roll for all 4 market periods from last year, and about 115 overall students for academic accomplishments. So it was really a nice night. The parents really enjoyed it. We kind of changed things around a little bit and moved from the auditorium and then a separate kind of reception area to everything in the media center. We found that the students and the parents talk to each other more, discuss with each other more, and kind of hang out and just have a little bit of socialization afterwards as well. Get a chance for everybody to enjoy that time and some nice pictures as well. This last week we had 8th grade tours successfully on the 14th and 15th. That went very well. And that of all of our study districts here, a lot of positive feedback from the students, the teachers that were here, the chaperones that were here, the private schools, as well as the administrators, the study district principals today. They gave us some positive feedback as well. They really enjoyed the tours. Our open house for 8th grade is January 10th, so that's our second phase of our transition. We really have about a 4 or 5 step transition. Both first is 8th grade tours. We'll have 8th grade open houses for parents and students in January. We'll do the 8th grade picnic in May. Then we'll have the 9th grade transition day, transition program, where they come in on their own rapid day before the whole school comes in. So there's a lot of support prior to them coming in. A lot of student recognition in the last month. I can just go through a little bit of that. Tyra Ringo and Grace Basile, I didn't mention them before, but just want to give you a little bit of an update. They were recognized by what's called Destination Athlete, which is an athletic organization that seeks nominations from all of the ADs and principals. We nominated Tyra and Grace. This event recognizes and awards high school seniors. So Tyra was our high school senior, who was a complete athlete, an underclassman, that was for Grace, called Rising Stars, across the entire state of New Jersey for their academic and athletic achievements. Upon our judge's review of qualifications, they were chosen to receive high school's highest honor certificate honor stage. They're going to be going, they went on the 18th to Rider University to accept that award. I just wanted to pass on congratulations for that. And then Grace would be eligible for the next step as a senior to be nominated again. So it's a nice event for them and is recognized for both athletic and also academic achievements on both sides of that. We also had a once-year anti-drug contest winner that's designed and coordinated for about 20 years now by the Center for Prevention and Counseling. They're over just at Newton, they're familiar with, and they do a fantastic job with this event. They had a nice pullout in the Herald this past week. We have extra copies in the main office if you're interested in having them. And they showcase all the students' work. It could be artwork. In this case, Athena Michelle won for her photography and had a digital photography class, and she was selected as a recipient from High Point. In April, they had a town hall meeting, they call it, that sponsors, and it's over at Newton Municipal Building. Chief of Police is there, senators are there, and they really do a nice job at awarding and recognizing students from all the school districts as well. So it's a nice event. That will be in April. If you didn't get a chance to see Our Town, fall drama, Mr. Cardi and their students did a fantastic job with that drama, that play. Once again, it was really a nice show. We haven't done it, I think, in about 7 years here at High Point. It was the last time we did it in 2012, 2011. So really was a nice show, so kudos to them. Along the same lines, we had 3 students that were recognized for All Eastern Choir. And I wanted to make sure that I had it all right here, so I actually wrote it down, what All Eastern Choir means. So Kenzie Bugat, Lindsay Polk sent us a Samuel Award with 3 of our students that were chosen for All Eastern Choir. And to give you a little bit of what that means, it's straight from Mr. Carter's mouth, so I know it's right on par. This is the highest honor that an ensemble, a higher honors ensemble choral student can achieve at the high school level. So it's the top of the top. It's beyond all state for that, if you're looking at that in relative terms. They represent High Point in the state of New Jersey and Pittsburgh, April 4th through April 7th, this coming up spring. They'll be can be conducted by Rollo Dilworth at Temple University, and they'll perform the Spirit Up Here Pittsburgh Ballroom at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a pretty large accomplishment to have 3 students chosen. Basically, you're having 3 all-state athletes chosen in choir. That's the level of athletes we're talking about. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to represent High Point and the state of New Jersey and Pittsburgh in the spring. So kudos to them. We also had, continuing with our humanities, we also had a tremendous couple weeks for our art department. Crystal Springs sponsors a art pumpkin carving contest every year. And it's a $1,000 award grant back to the winning school, and High Point was the winning school this year. We had over 40 pumpkins that were designed, created, and carved in a matter of about 3 or 4 days by our students. We got them here, we delivered them to Crystal Springs, and Mrs. Sheenice, Mrs. Hodges, Mrs. Giroff, Mrs. Myers set them up in a nice display. They received that $1,000 award. Also, student was chosen for, they call it the most valuable pumpkin, or that most valuable player. Maddie Small received that award, so we took the top 2 awards on that. So very, very happy about that. Also, just received notice that Archery Communion, Leah Sheed and Zoe Tiger, they were teen arts entries last year in the springtime, and we were just notified by the Teen Arts Organization that their work was chosen for the Sussex County Community College Art Magazine, which is actually called Idiom in the Image. That's the first time any high school student has been selected for Sussex County Community College Magazine. So they're going to be in the magazine. We're going to get copies of that. So again, kudos to the art department for another job well done. Some activities that are going to come up between now and the next meeting. The Holiday Pops concert is going to be on the 4th at 7 p.m. and the auditorium. The Candlelight concert is December 6th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium as well. So those are always some nice events that go on around the holidays. Tilly's Kids is coming fast. Tilly's Kids is when we have our pass along students, about 80 or 100 students, that will go down to our, we call our partner school, our sister school in Newark, Augusta Preschool, and we deliver gifts to many needy students that are down there. So it's a great event. We actually take 1 full bus just with presents, and the staff gets involved, the students get involved. It's a great day. It's a great event. That's named after Pastor Tilly, who's kind of the coordinator of the organization, and we've gone to Augusta Preschool now for 3 years in a row, and then we try to partner with them, and they come back up to us in the spring and see our musical. So we're excited about that. That's going to be on the 19th. And then the Fill the Bus food drive, we just kicked it off today with our committee. That's going to be on the 20th. We are going to try to fill as much of the bus as we can. That all that food goes to our local food pantry right in the county. This is the 19th year the county has run that event. And as I said to the kids today, we had almost 30 kids volunteer show up today for the committee, which is awesome to see. Some of them have been doing it for 4 years, and they're just really excited to see it happen again. As you remember, we're helping our own community members out, we're helping our own families out, we're quite possibly helping our classmates out. So they take it very seriously, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of holiday spirit around that. They take it very seriously, knowing that they're really helping our own community members. So last year, as I told them today, we were the county champions for the first time. We're very excited about that. That's awesome. It's great. We hope we continue that. But all we want to do is help our community members and help our friends and family along the way for that. And so that's some events. It truly is the most wonderful time of the year, as we have many different events going on. Any questions about that before we move to athletics? Okay. This is Mr. Norris' athletic report. As we wrap up the fall season, the boys soccer record at 3-11. We're rebuilding year for them, and some tough close games they had along the way. Girls soccer was 6-10. Excuse me. They advanced to the state playoffs. They lost to Lakeland High School in the first round. Close game, it was 2-1 or 1-0. Is that correct? 2-0. Close game, all right? Tough game? Tough game. I'll put it that way. Field hockey 7-8-1. Record, they advanced to the second round of the state playoffs. Eventually it was in Hackettstown. If you saw the Hackettstown, they went on to win the sections and on to the groups. I saw the field hockey team playing Hackettstown. Hackettstown was unbelievable. Our girls played very, very tough. Hackettstown was really at a whole different level. Cross country, boys 11-0, girls 11-0. That's not a bad season. Both division champs, and many of our boys went on to NJAC and also other state conference tournaments as well. Girls tennis 12-2 record, division champs for the first time in 25 years, so 3 division champs in the fall season. Girls tennis is an awesome thing, 25 years later, and part of that. Lower English advanced to the singles tournament for the states as well. Football is a 6-4 record, won against Ramsey down in the rain, played in Newton in the rain again. Seems to be recounting Demons in the fall, and lost to Newton, which just actually lost to Kinsey for the sectional title last week. Okay. Any questions for that? Have a blessed Thanksgiving, and that's all. Okay.
Seamus, you're up.
Okay, good evening. November is Veterans Day, and we have several of our best and brightest return to continue to serve the students here and to share their experiences. Mr. Michael Langen is a Gulf War veteran and 20-year veteran who's really built a military history program here, and he does a fantastic job of teaching the legacy of our armed forces and celebrating our graduates who have committed service. So every year there are 10 or 15 students that come back. This was one of the 2 days. There were more veteran alums who came back, and so we're very thankful to Mr. Langen and proud to have these young men and women come back and share their experience with our students. We have a great tradition of military service. Approximately 8 to 12% of our graduates serve, and we're thankful for them and very proud of that. Kid Tinney recently won a sectional title. This is not in honor of them. This is just a bad bulb we have on the projector. So we're going to be royal. We'll be royal blue tonight, and I apologize that we still bleed scarlet and silver, but
It's not tonight.
just not tonight.
That looks good.
Thank you. We have put the finishing touches on our in-house institutional review board. We've got a psychologist, a scientist, an attorney, and several faculty members who will review High Point students' proposals for research. An IRB is required when humans interact in any way with the research. As little as a survey that you give out to students has to be approved by an IRB. So we are not going to be taking blood samples and doing experiments on students, but simply asking them a survey question has to be scrutinized as to the standards of research ethics. So we're excited to be offering that in-house for our AP capstone students who we look forward to having them come to a board meeting and present their original research to the public. That's awful.
That's just wrong.
I know.
That's just wrong.
Mr. Salome did a fantastic job for the November staff meeting. He organized a number of wellness activities, and this was in Ms. Shanice's art class. What were they doing?
Clay ornaments, making Christmas ornaments.
Making clay ornaments and spending 30 or 40 minutes of camaraderie together. Little Tai Chi with Mr. Janetta was quite well received, and it didn't, the photograph was even worse, but the breathing exercises, stress relief with Ms. Myers and Mrs. Martin were also fantastic. And that's terrible to see our gym blue like that, and I apologize. We played badminton and volleyball, and really well received from the staff, so it was a nice hour of camaraderie and relaxation. That was last week. I spent most of today meeting with the administrators from Sussex Wantage, and we're doing a lot of things to coordinate with our sending districts. Sussex Wantage asked if they could come in and meet with our math teachers and help them better understand how they can help their 8th graders transition to math at High Point. And in 2 weeks, they're going to come back and they're going to interview a focus group of students. And it's completely collegial, no competition, no friction, just our district and their district trying to understand where we can improve the transition from 8th grade to 9th grade. A gifted and talented program, it's a county-wide middle school program. Mr. Drellick has offered up our facilities, so we will be hosting for the 3rd year in a row a county-wide middle school gifted and talented program. The math transitional focus group I mentioned, Mr. Fenlon had Frankfurt Township teachers and administrators up, and our students are going to go to Frankfurt and help teach them about digital citizenship and start a partnership program about online responsibilities. And Mrs. Fenlon does a fantastic job representing High Point. We have a Young Authors Conference. All of our sending districts work together on a youth literacy campaign, which has been very successful. PSAT scores will be in about 2 weeks, and we will be hosting the SAT here on December 1st in approximately 2 weeks. Our literacy PLCs continue to progress. Yesterday, I sent out some guidelines for the next 6 weeks. Our students will all be measured again in January, and we're excited to see that data, and hopefully see meaningful progress on that basic skills. Thank you to our teachers for their support and cooperation. And we're almost done. I told you I'd be quick. Mr. Kehoe's not here this evening, but he should be recognized for being a tremendous host. He's a native Manhattanite, and he agreed to drive Mr. Drellick and Mr. Dexter and Ms. LaTrenta to Manhattan, where they were recognized for excellence in financial literacy. And he was a very gracious host. He drove them, and he took them out to lunch, and they had a great day together. They were very gratified by the experience, and it's quite an honor to go into a considerable financial institution in the financial district and have your teachers recognized in such a manner. Nick had 5 catches on Sunday, and the week before he was at High Point. So very happy that on his bye week, he returned to High Point and spoke to our football team, which we're proud of and excited. We have 3 teachers that continue to work in a STEM trio. Ms. Sarno, Ms. Gonzalez, and Mr. Gonzalez, and Ms. Yacarino, representing math, tech, and science, continue now for the 3rd year to work on how they can bring their curriculums together and have students experience the interconnectedness of those subjects. So they went to NJIT, which Mr. Miller was instrumental in developing New Jersey's state-of-the-art makerspace. And our students went and toured it, and they're doing great things. Halloween is a fun time to be in a high school staff. That is Flo, Jake from State Farm, and Mayhem representing, and the staff and the kids really enjoy it. Mr. Baker put together an environmental science graveyard where extinct species were properly memorialized by graves, and the students had to come up with a species that is extinct and build a tombstone, etc. So that was rather clever and fun. Well, that's just not right. Those are our pumpkins.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Those
no.
are amazing,
Don't look away.
amazing pumpkins. I have no art ability, and when I see what our students do, I'm sure I'm not alone. It is stunning.
Who transported all those pumpkins over to Crystal Springs?
We did.
Like you put them in your car?
We had a couple of help, yes.
Nice.
Pickup trucks down handy.
I was just going to say, Mrs. Anderson, this is an area where pickup trucks are generally readily
I was
available.
wondering, that's all.
That's the difficult part. Transport is hard because they're so fragile.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was great, and with some of the money that they received in the background, that's the pizza party they had the next day. So kudos to them, really did a great job. And our live stream now has dual angles. So when you watch a sporting event now, you'll see a floor level, you'll see a camera from up top in the bleachers, and then you'll see a ground level, and you get this split screen. It'll cut in and out from different perspectives, and it's really pretty neat. Our entire tech department presented at the annual New Jersey Tech Educators Conference. We're very proud with their accomplishments. After we met with Sussex Wonders this morning, we spent 2 hours with the curriculum director of another high school in the county who called me and said, we have a STEM program that's very small and very modest, and I reviewed every STEM curriculum online and no one comes close to you. Do you have a couple hours? And so he drove up and we toured the facility. He was blown away. Blown away. And they're targeting a massive program at their school to try and really improve what they do. But when you show them our facility, from our greenhouse and our biotechnology program to our 3D printers and our CAD, video gaming, I don't want to forget anyone, but that wing up there is exceptional. Mr. Wallace and Mr. Drellick have built it over 20, 25 years along with great teachers, and it's fantastic. So it's always a source of pride. Election day, we got our students come out to the board office. Some field trips you don't need to approve here at the board because they're free. We just walk up and we watch people vote, and it's very exciting. And there again are our veterans that we mentioned before. And that is it. Questions?
Thank you.
All right, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. New business, the date for the December Board of Education meeting has been rescheduled to December 7th, 2018. The time and location remains the same. And that is to accommodate the Super Bowl of wrestling matches, right? Isn't that what we classify it?
At which point, Kid Italy's enjoyment of their football state championship will
We'll
be
come to
short.
an end.
But at least we have them on our projector. Move on to action items, Mrs. Anderson.
Okay, curriculum and instruction, 1, 2, and 3, we received the faculty attendance report, we received the student attendance report, and the suspension report for October. We're going to move items 4, 5, 6, 7. We recommended to approve the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report, to approve the curricular and student activities field trip, and to approve the professional development activities, and to approve the school calendar updates, accommodating junior prom changes and additions. Moving those items, I need a second.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call?
Mr. Notaro?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Woyku?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Keimer?
Yes.
Mr. Veely?
Yes. All right, personnel, Richard Bowman.
Okay, I'd like to move items 1 through 5 in personnel. First item relates to the approval to appoint math RTI after-school tutoring instructors as written. Item 2 is approval of substitute teachers as listed. Item 3 is the approval of substitute school nurses as listed. Item 4 is the approval of the substitute secretary as listed. And item 5, the approval of the completion of the superintendent's quality merit goal. May I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion on items 1 through 5 in personnel? There's none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Woyku?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Keimer?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Veely?
Yes. All right, extracurricular, we have a motion on items 1 through 7 and 8 on the addendum for number 1 is a contract with Vision. Number 2, recommended that we accept the extracurricular assignments as listed. We recommended that we accept the resignation of Chandler Howard as assistant girls basketball coach. Number 4, it's recommended that we approve the King Classic Showcase basketball fundraising related activity scheduled for January 19th. 5, recommended that we approve a baseball training trip to Florida Coast Baseball Academy beginning March 20th and March 24th. Number 6, recommended that we approve the attendance of High Point High School varsity wrestling team to the Chieftain Invitational Wrestling Tournament in Wisconsin. And that's January 3rd to January 6th. Number 7, recommended by the superintendent that we approve team to use the ice hockey rink provided by Mr. and Mrs. R. Ferrugia at their residence, which I really believe is Wine, not Brandon. Did we double check that? I'm pretty sure I
It's
did.
one.
Using this rink will provide a significant cost reduction for the program over future seasons, so thank you for that. And here's the extracurricular. Number 8, recommended that we approve a holiday bazaar for the community and hosted by Students Council to be held on December 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Catholic Community Area High. So I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on 1 through 8?
I'm happy you did say something about the ice hockey rink.
Yeah,
It's amazing. It's
That's
an amazing facility. It's amazing that the family has invited the team to come.
I
use
drove
it.
by it today, I said, my wife, I go, do you know the kids did? She's like, that's awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So thankfully, we have such supportive members of the community.
Roll call.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Wojcik?
Yes.
Mr. Veely?
Yes. Policy, we have nothing before us. Negotiations, even though it says we have nothing, we have a MOA between the association and the board, which Carla touched on, so we're thankful that that'll be wrapped up. Buildings and grounds, Mr. Manager.
Everything's beautiful, as usual. The fields had a rough fall, we were told, but
Turf.
we managed turf. But I say we, I didn't do one darn thing, but the school, the athletic director, the coaches all managed to work within the constraints of a crazy fall. Everything else is wonderful.
We did complete, had the final
The gym,
West Gym ultimately completed now with the installation of the bleachers.
Yeah.
So now, if all of you wrestling fans, should you be in a position to have to attend one of our highly attended wrestling matches in the West Gym, hopefully you will be far more comfortable and the accommodation will be far better than it once was.
good.
Finance, you're looking for a motion on 1 through 6 on the regular agenda and 7 on the addendum. Motion. Number 1, we accept the report of the Secretary of Business Administrator. 2 is the report of the Treasurer. 3, the reports transfer and minimum expense transfer report. 4, we approve the payment of the attached audited bills. 5, agency account, education, checking account, cafeteria account, accounts, school storage, student accounts. 6, recommend we approve the tuition contracts as listed. And 7, that be it resolved that the board grants permission to the explosive speed performance William Costantino light speed agility training on Wednesdays from January 2 through March 13th, 2019, during the hours of 6 to 8 p.m. So I need a motion, which I think we have.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion on any of these items?
Ms. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Wojcik?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Veely?
Yes. Transportation, items 1 through 3, recommended we approve the joint transportation agreements for the 18-19 year listed in 1. Number 2, recommended that we approve the floating contracts for the 18-19 school year listed in item 2. And number 3, recommended the superintendent, by the superintendent, the board approve the following addendum to a contract for additional mileage for the 18-19 school year, with the addition of a student as listed. Any motion?
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion on items 1 through 3? All right, roll call.
Mr. Notaro?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Woodville?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Karen?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes. All right, we have a legal item. And that is number 1, be it resolved that the board hereby approves the settlement agreement in the matter of High Point Regional High School District Board of Education, the Montague Township School District, at all OAL docket as listed, and authorizes the board's administration, board attorney to take all appropriate steps necessary to carry out this action of the need a motion.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion on the legal item? All right, roll call.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Woodville?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Karen?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes. Okay, correspondence, we don't have anything other than the letter I got, which was crazy. Really wasn't a letter at all. Credit card offer. Apparently the VA doesn't need a credit card in my name for iPhone, so we're good there. Miscellaneous, anybody have anything? No? Good, you do?
I think we should mention Michael Whitfield, because he will be here on.
Oh, yes, Mr. Whitfield, this will be his last meeting. And, it's been an honor and a privilege, so, my brother.
It was nice working with everyone.
You were an awesome board member.
So,
I'm happy that you were here.
Keep up the good work. I think the school administrators and everyone does a great job with what they do. You know, we have a great school here. The teachers do a good job. Our kids get a great education, and keep it up. So I really appreciate everything, you know, the past couple of years here with you guys. So.
Thank you. Okay, public comments. The same rules apply. We don't have that many people to go over it all over again. If anybody wants to stand up and say anything, favorite color, anything?
Not blue.
Not blue.
Not blue.
All right. What we got? That's it? Non-committee board member reports and comments. I don't worry about that anymore. And other business.
Yeah, we can talk about workshop.
Discuss the, oh, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Who's on the,
Well, we just,
Well, we haven't had a meeting since some of us attended the workshop, and we just thought
Say
it's worth
something.
mentioning
Go ahead, say
some of the
something.
valuable things that we do down there.
Yeah.
There are 3 days actually of seminars and sessions where we have an opportunity to learn about various things. And I, for one, have taken advantage of the mandatory board member training now for the 3rd year. I think I'm clean now. for a good
yeah,
while.
yes, yes.
There was one session that I attended, which this is the 3rd year I've gone to. There's a legislative panel, and it's an opportunity to hear state legislators that have some dealings with education come in and speak about their positions. And it's been interesting seeing how that has gone over the past 3 years. This year in particular, given the state aid cuts, the entire first half of the hour plus was spent discussing the reductions and the readjustments of the state aid. My question that I submitted wasn't read verbatim, but it was sort of melded in with some other questions and addressed. The Senate President Sweeney was probably the highest level speaker there, and he's a very common sense speaker and spoke quite a bit about, very knowledgeable about education. He actually has a special education daughter, I believe, so it's near and dear to him, certain other aspects. And then there was a panel of assembly persons from throughout the state. Real interesting to get that. One of the things also, I wanted to bring this up, the report from the panel about the recommendations was discussed a couple of times. And I know, really, you've read it at length, and I've at least read the education portion of it, and that may be something that if anybody has an opportunity, it's worth picking that up and reading it. I can't guarantee it's super exciting, but it is important, and I'm sure there'll be more discussed about it, particularly consolidation things.
And in addition to the legislative aspects of attending it, there's a lot of push and information on career education right now at the State Board of Ed level. And it's something that in every session, there was at least one, if not two, opportunities to go hear somebody speak on how we can improve career readiness, what we can do for our students, what we can do in the school districts, how we can make this work for our kids so that our kids are ready and understand what careers are out there for them, and not just being pushed into a college track, which is not wrong, but not for everybody, and the fact that there are careers that need 4 years of college, and there are plenty of careers that need other avenues of achieving that. So that's something that we've been doing for a couple of years on this board, and it's nice to see it at the state board level.
You wanted to mention the board-sponsored holiday get-together.
Yes, the board-sponsored holiday get-together in the media center. The board will sponsor, there's the right word again, a gathering of some cheer and some punch and cookies and sandwiches on
Thursday, December 20th,
20th.
from
Okay.
1 to 3 p.m.
In the media
Is
center.
that A, B, D, or C day?
I have no idea.
Neither do we.
You would if you, it's probably published
Vote
somewhere. I
counts.
just don't live that life anymore.
It's published.
Yeah.
September 1st.
So I hope everybody can make at least part of it, because after, it goes after school as well, but you all know that, because you've been coming to it for years and years, so, good. Hope to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I can't hear anything. No.
It's fine.
All right?
What, do we do?
I guess now. Sure. Do it.
Thank you. We would like to invite the board member-elects on that day. If you're available, come on up. I guess your best bet would probably be over to the board office and check in there. So, something like that. If you don't know where you're going, have you ever been in the media center?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll, no, but, so either front office or the board office, they'll point you in the right direction. All right? Thank you. That's it.
I think that's it.
Okay. I need a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that's it.